Erik Ten Hag says Manchester United are competing for all trophies this season. We're in it to win it. We want to take the lot, Erik says. Well, with injury updates like we've had today, which are amazing, finally, are the tables turning? Is Ten Hag's luck actually in? Because we're hearing Martinez, Mazraoui and De Ligt are all available for the game tomorrow night against Barnsley. Will they play? That's what we're going to discuss now. How is Ten Hag going to look at this game? We have a new contract offer on the table for Ahmad as well. It could actually work out to be a pretty decent few days for Erik Ten Hag. And if he gets through this tie into the next round and then maybe get some players back even more players like we discussed earlier on in Hoyland back for the game against Palace this weekend, it could actually start to turn out to be a good start to this second part of the season, if you want to call it that, with the stupid internationals in a way. This is Forever United TV, Monday evening, 6:30, 16th of September. Welcome along to the show, everybody. Fully interactive. Get your comments in the live section. Get your comments in after the video is finished as well. And, of course, make sure you please do give the video a like. Hit that subscribe button to get your say on everything going on Manchester United. No one gives the audience as much as a say as what we do here on Forever United TV. I can guarantee it. So, Ten Hag has been talking. He has been answering media questions today. Obviously, press conference ahead of the first league that he can compete in. I'm only joking. Ten Hag got mixed up and misquoted and lost in translation with competitions and leagues earlier on in his press conference. But the Carabao Cup is obviously Ten Hag's first trophy that he has won. Simon Stone of the BBC was asking the first questions on the importance of the Carabao Cup. And Ten Hag replied, first of all, with I don't know if it's obnoxious, if it's just pure... I don't know what the word is, actually, to think of how he responded to it. But his words were, look, Simon Stone said to him, you talk about trophies, you've talked about trophies a lot, which is true. He has, and he does keep on banging on about trophies and winning trophies. But Simon Stone said, how seriously do you take this trophy? Is it the priority, basically, this season? As you would ask. And Ten Hag says... it's not just me who talks about trophies. You talk about trophies. Well, no, the question was to you, Erik, and you talking about trophies. And the question was, how seriously are you taking it? Just answer that question. Like, of course we're taking it seriously. We want to win everything that we're in. That's what he said, but he didn't have to give that smarmy little snarly response back. Like, you say it as well. You say we need to be winning leagues. Well, you're Man United. You should be winning leagues, mate. It's as simple as that. That's the standard. Don't try and drop them standards. Anyway, he moved on past that, saying that he is, of course, going to take it seriously. He takes every single competition seriously. As far as the Carabao Cup's concerned, he brought in Liverpool. He brought in everybody that was in the competition last season that was competing for it and how serious they're taking it. Pretty much bigging up the Carabao Cup. Hence, making it seem more important if someone does win it. Look. What was it? City, United, Liverpool, the biggest teams and the biggest clubs are all competing for the Carabao Cup. And you look at who has won it over the last few years, and it's quite clear that teams do take it seriously. They do want to get that trophy in the bag. And a lot of the teams use it as a springboard to push them into the latter stages of the season. So, yeah, I mean, we all know what the League Cup is. We all know that it's probably the least important trophy. But it's probably one of United's better chances to get their hands on silverware again. And you know what Ten Hag is like. He loves a good push up on the trophy conversation, doesn't he? So he is all in on Manchester United going for the League Cup. Of course he is. And I feel like Manchester United will field a strongish sort of side. They were the questions asked past that. And Ten Hag, when asked a question in particular, I think from Talk Sport in the press conference today, was around Antony, and Antony being a player that needs to do more, according to Ten Hag. Thank you for that donated membership from Huggles. That's gone to You Got Raws. Thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate that. And yeah, so looking at that question in particular from Talk Sport about Antony, and is this the best opportunity he's going to get to get game time and prove what he said in the summer, which was he wants to prove to everybody, wants to be given a chance to prove to everyone that he is a Manchester United player. Ten Hag said, look, you will see tomorrow. He said it with everyone, you'll see tomorrow. When asked about Agate, you'll see tomorrow. He just batted it off and said, when the lineup comes out tomorrow, you'll know exactly who's playing. He wasn't giving anything away, which is no problem. It is what it is and what managers usually do anyway. No one's going to say who will be playing, just maybe who is available. But obviously, Antony hasn't played yet this season. We've hardly seen him. He's not contributed nothing, and we knew this was going to happen, but Ten Hag and Manchester United decided that they wanted to keep him ahead of dealing with the Jadon Sancho and Palestra side of things, and can't get rid of 3 wingers in one summer. So, Antony, is he going to get this chance? That's the question that was out there. Ten Hag said, look, all players need to perform. They need to show the right attitude. They need to show the right performance and levels in training, and then they will be considered for selection. So, reading into that, Ten Hag saying that Antony is available for selection means that you are going to be... well, you're going to be in the pot to be picked out. You're not necessarily going to get game time. You're not going to start. You're not guaranteed to start anyway. So, yeah, when you look at it that way, you just got to be... you've got to look at it and go, yeah, there's still a chance that Antony won't start going off that. But Ten Hag, again, I've had a problem with this in terms of, like, just solely putting it down to training. I know training's important and fitness levels and everything like that, but some players just don't perform in training. They prefer the pressure of a game, and I feel like Ten Hag is judging everything off training and from what he said there, and saying, look, if you're at it at training and you're showing the right temperament, the right attitude, and the right commitment in training, then you're going to be considered. Like, just considered. Like, how far do these players have to go? Surely you've brought that player in because he's performed a certain way on the pitch in certain scenarios before, and that's what your scouts are for. If the player comes in, doesn't train well, or hasn't quite got that same get up and go in training, but can do it on the pitch, surely the scouting report is mainly about that player actually performing on the pitch, and that's what you want to look at more. Like, honestly, just relying on training alone, I feel, is probably why these players are actually giving absolutely everything. And maybe this is why we're getting injuries. I don't know. Maybe this could be players actually overcooking it in training and getting these injuries. Look, there's all sorts of questions that need asking with United's training methods and fitness of this team. We've all questioned it before with the medical staff, why they're not giving Ten Hag the right information, why we're not catering for each player. It is going to be different this season, and we got the good news, thankfully, that, and these injuries all came about in the Southampton game. We got the good news that all 3 substitutions that went off for what we thought were injuries against Southampton at weekend in De Ligt, Martinez and Mazraoui are not serious. All are fit, all in training, all available for the game tomorrow. I don't think any of the players will play. Definitely not risking any repercussions or any extra chance of giving these players another injury. I don't think that is going to be where Manchester United are at, or what Ten Hag is thinking. I think all of them 3 players will miss out tomorrow and be rested for next weekend against Crystal Palace. And then, really, we're getting the opportunity to give some younger players. Ten Hag also said, look, we are going to be rotating. Finally. Like, God, like... he's... In what he was saying there, again, he was sort of avoiding what he was saying last season and trying to bury it a little bit, I thought, when he said, like, this is a good problem to have. He also had headache, so he said it's a good headache to have. Like, everyone says it, don't they? These are the type of headaches that you want, the type of situations you want where you've got so many players available and you have to let some players down because you've got so many to pick from. That's the best thing about it. So when you look at that, he then went back into what happened last season. He said, I also had an headache last season, and that was I didn't have any players to pick from. I didn't have any players available. Come on, I'm sure you actually won the FA Cup with the same squad. I'm sure you actually won games, big games, with these so-called players that weren't available. Like, I think he sometimes doesn't realise he's disrespecting some of the other players within his squad, and maybe this is the reason why he hasn't got everybody on board with him. I'm guessing that anyway, and why there is so much fallout, because he did have players available last season because he won the FA Cup. We won the last 2 games of the season. We had some big games where we won, some where we actually had big performances from them players that apparently weren't available last season. Look, he just needs to be careful with what he says sometimes, and I feel everyone's anger and frustration. I've been sent messages just from the press conference alone of people saying he's at it again. Like, I just cannot stand listening to him. I can't stand listening to him talk about winning trophies and the problems that he had last season. It's gone. You need to be looking at what's happening now more. And all he had to do was the stuff that he did talk about. Like, no, don't tell anyone who's going to be playing. Yes, wait till tomorrow. you're not going to get the information off Ten Hag about who's actually going to be playing. The other news in terms of the other injuries with players was that Luke Shaw is still not available. Mason Mount's not available. Obviously, Lindelof's not available. We know that, and I've been told that Mason Mount is only 2 weeks away. We talked earlier on, I think this morning, about Lenny Yoro only being about 3 weeks away as well. Rasmus Højlund, going off what Ten Hag said, going off what people have been saying and reporting, and what I've been told personally, is that Rasmus Højlund has got a very good chance of being in that selection pot for Ten Hag, as he puts it, for the game against Crystal Palace. So let's see what happens with Rasmus Højlund. He definitely won't be available or anywhere near the team tomorrow, along with the obvious Lindelof, Yoro, Mason Mount and Luke Shaw. They're the 5 that Manchester United are looking at right now that are not available. So we just need to think what the team might be tomorrow in terms of the players that are available. The ones that he has said that are available that were worried about injuries from weekend, I still don't think, like I said a minute ago, we should be putting them into the team. I don't think that we need to even be considering them for the game tomorrow. And really, I looked at it, and like I said before, I think Diallo will play, I think Amas will play, I think you've got Maguire and Evans, I think they will come in. I think we'll see Agassi, I think we'll see Casemiro, I think we might see Xerxes play a little bit deeper as a number 10, maybe Wheatley up there, Antony, Garnacho, players that need game time. I think Bruno will end up leading playing because this is what happens. That's probably my team that I would pick. I mean, I've got a poll running up in the chat right now, which is for the Barnsley game, will Ten Hag go with his strongest 11, 3 to 4 changes, 6 to 8 changes, or change the whole team? 3 to 4 changes is what everyone is sort of hovering around at the moment. You think he's going to change up maybe a third of the team? You could see that with Ten Hag. I'm going to get into the chat right now, so get your comments in, everybody. Get in the live chat. Let me know what you're thinking. Were you impressed with Ten Hag's press conference? I've got to ask the obvious question, haven't I? Gary Chad ran them ragged in the cup a couple of weeks ago. Go on, Erik. Take a chance on the young ones. You know what you want to. I remember him as a very friendly man. Oh, sorry, someone else talking to someone else. If Erik Ten Hag got the team winning, no one would care what he says in press conferences. It's imperative he starts winning. Again, like, no one cares about what goes on off the pitch, Skiliano, like you just said there. No one cares about anything else when everything's going well. Like, United run well, and no questions are asked if everything's going right on the pitch. And that's the biggest thing to take from it. So, really, when you look at the results, a good week is possible here right now. So if United get the win tomorrow night, which we should do, that's off the back of that 3-0 win against Southampton, and they get a win against Crystal Palace at weekend, the whole outlook of the season has changed completely. And everybody's looking at a more of a positive look on it. Going into the FC20 and the Spurs game after that. 2 big games in that one. 2 games at Old Trafford that the Old Trafford fans will be expecting wins in. No matter how bad FC20 are, and what reaction you're going to get from them, and how bad Spurs have been in the bounce back and from Ange and stuff like that for the Spurs side. Look, United are expected to win them games, and I think we will. I do believe that United can win them 2 games, but let's deal with this week. Let's get Barnsley and let's get Crystal Palace out of the way. More comments, please. My take is you are getting too cocky, says Sean. Who's getting too cocky? Quello says, why do you expect him to be kind to the media? I didn't say that. I didn't even mention that. I told him where to go when it came to the team. Look, Ten Hag, when asked, just to answer that question in the chat, when Ten Hag is asked about his look on trophies, and then he comes back with the response, it's not just me, it's you guys that are asking about trophies, saying that you should be winning a league. Look, no, Erik, like, you're the one who bangs on about trophies. It's a relevant question to ask because we're in a press conference for the Carabao Cup, one of the trophies that you keep on going on about. So, really, it is a fair question, and he snapped at the media again with a sort of like, I don't know how to describe that sort of response. It's one of them narky sort of responses back, isn't it? So yeah, like, and everything else, like, yeah, he's not going to tell him who he's going to be playing. Wait till tomorrow, that's fine. But don't come back with a stupid comment like that. That's just taking the mick. It is. And he is the one. Everybody knows he's the one that bangs on about the trophies. So, really, it is a fair question, but he didn't want to answer. Really, who gives a crap what the manager says? I mean, are you serious? English isn't even his first language. Judge results on the pitch and stop looking for any reason whatsoever to diss this guy. Again, John, having a go at me thinking I'm dissing Ten Hag. He's the one who's having a go at the media. It wasn't me, mate. I mean, come on. You've got to just be honest and say, look, this is what Ten Hag is saying. And literally, like, everyone's just taking an absolute swipe because we're talking about Ten Hag again. Honestly, like, results on the pitch. I had my piece on that and everyone moaned about that. So you're in a lose-lose situation right now, aren't you? You can't say anything good. You can't say anything bad. Otherwise, you get swiped at from both sides. But you only have to, like the comment says, look at what happens on the pitch. Kind of are doing, really, aren't we? And it's still not fantastic. So it's probably not the right way to go about it. His English is good enough to talk absolute rubbish. We are expecting more of a winning... that's it. I thought there was going to be more on the end of that comment there. I'm positive. I'd say another 3-0 final score. I think 4-0 tomorrow. I think 4-0 against Barnsley. I feel like that's where United are at. Let's not forget the under-21s beat Barnsley's first team a few weeks ago. So I think United should go into this confidently no matter who they put in the side. And I think we will beat Barnsley 100%. And yeah, I look at it. I think even with the likes of Wheatley up front, no disrespect, by the way, I really want to see Wheatley get a start. I want to see if he can go on to that next level. And these are the games I actually look forward to these games when I know that there's going to be a load of changes and we're going to see a different team. These are actually really exciting, and I'm actually looking forward to the game tomorrow. I feel like United, I think we've got an opportunity to blood what is going to be one of the most fruitful sort of youth teams that we've had to come through from our academy in a long time. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Ten Hag puts out on the pitch in terms of shape and team. If he goes with the same sort of shape but with different players, if he keeps with the same sort of team and doesn't change much, how serious is he taking it? Is he going to not risk too much in playing maybe more than 2 or 3 young players? Some people would say that's not much of a risk. Look, if he changes 11 players tomorrow and loses, I'm not going to be outside Old Trafford moaning about what Ten Hag's done. I'd be saying, look, he's done the right thing. He's give the players the opportunity to prove themselves. And if they want to be in this team, then they're going to have to take the bull by the horns and actually go out there without the big name players there. Show what you've got. Show that you are going to be the player that Ten Hag needs going forward this season, and put yourself in the reckoning for being selected against Crystal Palace this weekend. It is a fantastic opportunity. If Antony gets a chance tomorrow night and he does start the game, then he needs to absolutely pull up trees. He should be absolutely everywhere on that pitch tomorrow night, Antony, giving absolutely everything he possibly can. We don't want this, like, it's only Barnsley, and the sort of player attitude is of, like, oh, we can just walk our way through this game. You need to take this game seriously, like it's the chance and a trial for you to try and get back into the first team for the bigger games. That's what you need to do. And tomorrow night is that opportunity for the likes of Antony, for the likes of Amas, Harry Maguire, players like this who are not going to get as much game time. I'm looking forward to seeing Bain there. There are rumours that Ten Hag will actually change the goalkeeper tomorrow floating around as well, which is really good news. So, yeah, looking at how everything is set up, what Ten Hag has said, and the fact that he needs to rotate, he's got plenty of players to choose from. We need to just, like, grip hold of this and try and keep this sort of vibe going right now. This is really good. It's exciting because he can play some of the first team players and he can play some of the fringe or youth players in with them as well and help them adapt to being a first team player. I think Amas definitely deserves a shout at left back for this type of game. Don't risk anyone. You don't need to. I think it's perfect. It's a perfect opportunity to play Harry Amas at left back. Play him there. I don't think he's going to have too much trouble. You'll have 2 experienced, full international centre backs, no matter what, playing at the side of him. And obviously you'll have, I'm thinking Diallo will play on the right because I don't think he'll risk Mazraoui at this point. So, yeah, I think that will be my back four. Again, I'd love to see Collier. I would. Whether it's Agate or not. I think Collier might miss out simply because Agate probably needs game time. I think Ten Hag will use this opportunity. He was asked in the press conference about Manuel Agate, and he did say, look, you will see tomorrow if he's in. Obviously, we know he's fit. So I feel like Agate will get that extra game time. Will he risk? It's not so much a risk, but will he bring Mainu in or will he rest him for the weekend game against Palace? There's all sorts of different options open to him, and it's really good that Manchester United have finally got what looks like a kind of squad together. So I'm really excited to see how he plays it out, and I hope we see at least 2 or 3 of the academy players given a chance. 4-0 win is my prediction on that. I'll go more into that obviously tomorrow on game day, but I think a 4-0 win for Manchester United. I think it will be a comfortable-ish sort of night. Well, that's what I expect anyway. I'll be disappointed if we lose the game, obviously, but wholesale changes means disruption within the squad. Maybe disruption in a good way for Manchester United. With these other players looking to make their mark, maybe we might get a better performance. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. But like I said, you won't get me standing outside Old Trafford tomorrow if United end up losing this game because we've given a few academy players a chance. It's exactly what we should be doing right now. We need to be looking at the bigger picture here, and these players, maybe not all of these youth players or fringe players will break into the first team later on this season. If it's just 1 or 2 of them, 1 or 2 players into this squad and giving Ten Hag more options is better than nothing. And I just wish that we had the likes of Bobby Martin and Kone in a little bit sooner. Maybe they would get an opportunity as well. There are loads of young players coming through at United now that this game is probably going to come too quick for, unfortunately. And I just look at it and go, damn. Damn, really, because we could have seen more. But still, I think, if you're going to ask me now, I reckon about 7 changes. I do. I think at least 7 changes in that team for the weekend and from the weekend. And I'm really looking forward to seeing it. One player who probably won't play and will be rested because he had a full game at weekend is Amad Diallo. And there are rumours. Samuel Luckhurst from the MEN came out earlier on today. And he said that Manchester United, now that the window is shut, are looking to prioritise the new contract situations. Now, we've heard about the one that's going to be offered to Kobbie Mainoo, and obviously Amad's contract is running out as well. He only wants to be at United. He is fully invested and feels like he can hold that position down. I think a lot of the fan base are in complete agreement with him that he will hold that position down now, and he is one of our best options on that right-hand side. So Amad getting a new deal, I think every single Manchester United fan is well on board with that. I think he's going to be on the terms of what everyone else has been getting, i.e. the players that have come in this summer. I think it'll be a 6-year deal. What wages that will be, I don't know. I know he's not on a lot at the moment. So room for Manchester United and the new structure to negotiate a proper football contract there with Amad. I feel like he is going to get a 5 with the option for a 6, being the age that he is. And plenty of good years to come with Amad. I'm really looking forward to seeing how he develops now. He's getting consistent game time. A lot of people misunderstood how I was going at the substitutions at weekend with Amad, because a lot said, how can you be saying that Amad was the worst of the 3? Look, it wasn't so much that he was the worst of the 3, even though I might have said that. Like, it was just in trying to break down who I would have brought off, because I wouldn't have brought Rashford off. I would have tried to have left Rashford on to build up a bit more confidence, because he scored his goal and we need our senior players to be smashing it and firing. So I'd have let him try and maybe score another one, especially against 10 men. It might have been the perfect opportunity for him. But look, he brought Rashford off and Amad stayed on. It's like a vote of confidence. He's creating shed loads of chances. He's in the team of the week again alongside Matthijs de Ligt this weekend. And it is really good to see the progress for a player that Manchester United looked like had just given up. I think a lot of fans had given up on Amad. A lot of fans had said that they just don't see him having the patience to wait around. Let's not forget, Solskjaer brought Amad in. And his contract is up next summer. It's crazy. That's how long he's been here. And he's only just got through. This will be his first full season at Manchester United. And he came in when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the manager of Manchester United. He came in. What did he come in? I think it was 2020 that Ahmad was signed. So he came in lockdown. Before lockdown, Ahmad Diallo. Which is absolute crazy. It's mental. To think that he has been here at this club so long and this is his first full season right now. Let's not forget, Manchester United turned down an offer upwards of 30 million for Ahmad from a big European club this summer. So you got to look at that. Manchester United are attracting attention now. When was the last time that you've seen Manchester United players actually wanted by other big clubs? This doesn't happen a lot for Manchester United. It hasn't happened a lot over the last few years. And it's good to see that Manchester United players are actually wanted again. And I think it's really important to look at that and go, right, okay, at least right now, Manchester United, under this structure, and Ten Hag, we are actually attracting attention from other clubs for our players. That means that we're doing something right, at least. And there is progress there, because I cannot remember, like, the last 3 windows in the summer, what players were really wanted by any other club at Manchester United, from Manchester United. Like, we didn't have anyone. No one was looking to leave the club. And when you look at that, there is a little bit of progress there. And that is a positive again. Get your comments in, everybody. Please give the video a like. We're creeping up to the 150 mark. Please make sure you do. Let's get them likes pumping up there. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you are tuning in for the first time. Look, at the end of the day, honest opinions is what happens in season. Some people like them, some people don't. But that's how it's always going to be. We just like to cut through the crap, but get to the main points as quickly as possible. Dill says, Ahmad has earned his place in the team, went on loan to Sunderland and proved himself, returned and took his limited chances. In Ahmad we trust. He is a GOAT. Adam, for most of the season, we had horrible injuries. I don't know what you are talking about. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Oh, God, what is it with people and these injuries? Like, go check out the first 26 games of the season when we went out the Carabao Cup, the Champions League and Europa all together, and we're miles away from the top 4. And look who was in the team, and look who we had available in selection. Don't talk to me about having injuries all the way through the season. It's a load of shit. Don't believe it, people, because it wasn't. We had more than enough. And let's not forget, we won the FA Cup with all these injuries as well. So, yeah, that's what you have to look at. There is no hiding for Erik ten Hag now. It's make it work or sack. It's the sack. He's had backing time and now he has to make it work. Smash the like button, people. Yes, we love that. Keep them coming, everyone. What else have we got in here as well? Sometimes we take what Erik ten Hag literally, we take what Erik ten Hag says literally. I think you're supposed to say there, Andrew, was it maybe? When what he really means gets lost in translation, I hope. No, like there are parts that he cannot sort of communicate in English, like the leagues, the 5 leagues that we're in. We know he means competitions, and he wants to win them all. He's confident that United can win them all. And if he keeps a full squad, then there's no reason why we cannot win another trophy this season and finish top 4. Obviously, we're not going to win the Premier League. Obviously, we cannot win the Champions League yet. But we need to make a big step towards that this season. That's either finishing top 4 or winning that Europa League. They're the trophies for United. And I know top 4 isn't a trophy, but that's probably more important right now than actually getting our hands on, say, a League Cup or a FA Cup. It is really important that Manchester United are playing in the Champions League next season. He has to change the team if he goes his best 11 and then the injury starts. He can't complain. He won't go with strongest 11, surely. I think he is going to change it up tomorrow, and he alluded to that in the press conference. He will change it up. Ruud van Nistelrooy should help players convert goals. Set pieces look good. Hey, look, we scored 2 goals from set pieces at weekend, and no one talked about that. And we have got a set piece coach in now. So maybe we should be talking about that as a positive as well. I mean, look, goals change games. If you get a set piece and you can take maximum advantage of set pieces, then they can put you in that comfortable position to then start playing better football as well. Look, every aspect of the game needs to get the full treatment. And it's right that we've bought set piece coaching. It's right that we are trying to score goals from set pieces because they are part of the game. It gets forgotten about and forgotten how important it is to take advantage of set pieces in football, I feel now. Simply because, look, everyone's talking about the style of play and everything like that. Look, confidence helps you bring a style of play. We've seen Manchester United confidently knocking the ball about for the last hour of that game against Southampton because we were 2-0 up. We took our chances and they both came from corners. So we do need to look at that, and that is a positive, a very, very big positive right now. Ish says, Erik can never win. He keeps Rashford on. You cry. He takes him off. You cry for crying out loud. I think the only person crying this is you, mate. Don't think anyone here on this channel was complaining about Rashford at all. I thought he should have left him on and let him score. I just thought that was the right move. You're the one who's bitching, my friend. Sorry. Did you ever fill the last spots on the training staff? In terms of the medical team, you got Rose. I don't know. I've not heard any announcement yet anyway. I've not heard anything regarding that next appointment coming in. We clinched the treble with a set piece. They can be the difference. Yes, they can, Antony. Good point. Stephanie says, Adam, question, what season do you think will score directly from a free kick? No idea. No idea. Hopefully we get something this season. Look, if we can score from corners, we're definitely looking up. We can definitely start scoring from free kicks as well. So, yeah, hopefully that is to come. Just see now, how is the job in charge of getting... Oh, you guys with cake, seriously. Craig says, I can't go to the game. My boss wouldn't let me book the night off. Can you have a word? Sorry, Craig. Thanks for the super chat, mate. But, yeah, anyone who is going, we are in and around the ground beforehand and afterwards, as always. So please make sure that you do come over and say hello if you are there. Do you remember when Mourinho boasted on 2 occasions about his trophies and he was slaughtered, yet Ten Hag's allowed to say it every week? To be honest, Jose got into the Champions League by winning the Europa League. That's the biggest trophy for United right now. That is massively important. I think we need to take it seriously this season. I think Ten Hag will need to actually go strong in the Europa League with his team selection. I think he will. And I think he does need to actually get his hands on that trophy to get in the Champions League, because I'm not confident the way that other teams are performing that it's going to be that easy getting top 4 now. We should be up there competing, but I don't think we've got the consistency in the league. And I don't want to forget about the league like Ten Hag has done last season. And I think the Europa League is definitely our best avenue. I think we can beat everyone in that competition in a 2-legged tie. I think we can beat anyone in that competition in a one-off game. I think that is the best avenue in. That is the reality. I think we do look better, but the results are still not there he's got a big few games to the next international break, I think, or there could be another pile-on. There's always going to be a pile-on. Shout at Craig's boss. Yeah, I can shout at Craig's boss, definitely. For not letting him go to the game, that's poor. Not many people get the opportunities to get to Old Trafford, and I think Craig's boss is absolutely out of order in not letting Craig go to the game. We have passed 150 likes, everybody. Let's see if we can get them up near 200. Get your likes in, everyone, please. Make sure you've hit that subscribe button as well. Really appreciate all of your comments and all of your help with likes and subscribing, people. It all helps the channel grow, and we can get more content out there as well. We're going to mix it up content-wise tomorrow as well, everyone. So make sure that you are liking the video. Make sure you are subscribing and help the channel grow. I remember no Champions League dropouts into Europa League this season, so it should be the easiest to win. Yeah, definitely no Champions League dropping into the Europa League competition. Definitely helps Manchester United out. Mate, where do you get your energy from? You're relentless. Watching you makes me tired. Enjoy the content. Keep it up. United. It's always going to be United. I'm always here. I'm always talking. I'm always being shut down by people for my opinion. It doesn't matter. We're debating. This is it. No one ever gets kicked off this channel. That's one thing you need to remember as well. When you disagree with me, it doesn't mean that you are wrong. It's just your opinion. And yeah, you'll never get kicked off unless you are seriously abusive. But yeah, the energy of Man United and you guys and people just wanting to talk about United is everything that this channel is and what drives me on. It's always going to be that way. If they stop counting corners and assists, then Bruno won't hog them, and United can work on someone taking them effectively and keeping Bruno within the cam spaces. Well, Christian Eriksen was taking them and Ahmad was taking them. I think Ahmad's our best corner taker that I've seen. But let's not forget, Bruno got the assist for De Ligt's goal off the corner, but not taking it. The short corner worked really well. And then the overload and runs at the back stick. There was definitely a training ground routine for that goal, the opening goal for Manchester United. 100%. Take a look at the roster again. The squad doesn't have enough quality to win anything. Oh, it has, because we've won 2 trophies. It's got to, Jim. We've won before. We do need to be... I'll keep on saying it. The Europa League is everything for Manchester United. We need to win the Europa League. It's as simple as that. If he wants to win a trophy, concentrate on that. That's the one to take. And you know what? If you get 4 or 5 wins out of the 8 games in the group stages, you're pretty much in that top 8, and you can start resting players again. And maybe this big fixture list, which has been built up over the start of this season from every club and every manager, can then be made a bit smaller. And you can start rotating. Look, if United win the first 5 games of the Europa League, it's going to be tough. We've got some tough away games. But just for instance, look, if you go full ball, United can beat anyone on any game. Play your strongest team in the Europa League. You have to. If you get them first few wins in the bag, and you're in that top 8 of the big league in the Europa League, then you're automatically going through, and you're not playing then until March. That helps because you haven't got the playoff game, which comes, I think, the end of February, so more pile up there after bleeding Christmas. You don't want that. And them last few games, which everyone's been moaning about, as in fixture pile up and players not getting rest, aren't as important because you've already qualified. Concentrate on the first few games. Get as many points as possible. Then you can rest the squad towards the back end of this early league stage of the Europa League. So that's how I would look at it, and that's how I would definitely go at it, because I feel like there's an opportunity there where it looks like it's busier. It actually can be made to be a lot less. So I really do think that the best opportunity for United and Ten Hag is not so much going all out in the Carabao Cup. It's using the Carabao Cup effectively to give certain players a chance. It's then going all out for the Europa League. Give them the full respect in that, because that's your avenue into the Champions League. And that really is how Manchester United, I think, should be looking at it. Look, everyone has their own opinions on it. Everyone thinks we should be concentrating on the league. We do. Look, Europa League, Premier League. They're the 2 that you've got to look after. It's difficult, I know, because I'm saying play your strongest team in the Europa League, and then you've got to try and manage that team then for the Premier League. Look, if you do, like we said, get through them first few games of the Europa League with wins, and then you can rest players, I think that's the way you've got to go forward with it. I think that's how we can get it. So concentrate on it for the first few games. Try and get them results in the bag. I know it's going to be difficult because like Fenerbahce away, Porto away, very difficult games. And it could go down to the wire in terms of finishing in the top 8. But still, give it everything you've got, and we can beat them teams in that competition. And then we're just looking at what we can do then going forward with resting players, giving more game time to some youth players. Maybe you'll see the likes of Kone. Maybe we'll see more of Collier and Amas in games when United know they've already qualified. and give them that first team experience. There are plenty of opportunities. Use the Carabao Cup, use the Europa League, get these players game time, make everybody feel part of this squad, and then when you need them in them big league games later on down the line, they're there and they're ready to go and they feel part of it. There's nothing worse than trying to convince a player who feels like he's on the peripheral and nowhere near that first team. That you trying to convince Antony in playing him tomorrow that this is his chance to play in the first team. He's got no chance of being in the first team for the Premier League games coming up. So no matter what Antony does in the game tomorrow, we all know that he's not going to get ahead of Rashford. He's not going to get ahead of Garnacho. He's not going to get ahead of Ahmad. He's not going to get ahead of Xerxes if he even tries to push him out wide. And if it came to it, I think he would probably put Bruno out on the right ahead of Antony as well. Again, he's just a player that shouldn't be there. And how Antony convinces Ten Hag, I do not know. He's tried it before, but Ten Hag will never put Antony ahead of the forwards that are there right now. And I don't think anybody would disagree with Ten Hag in not putting Antony ahead of who's there in front of him now. I just don't see how he affects anything. All he can be is there available if one of these players gets injured. And if he's happy being that squad player, then so be it. That is Antony. That's his way forward. That's how he is going to be at United. Is that worth 85 million? No, it's not. But what can we do? They're just the cards we've been dealt. And they were dealt by a shit regime before Ineos even came through the door. That is it. That is your evening update. I'm jumping across to have a chat with the boys on United View. Talking all stuff United again. The shows continue, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this evening show, guys. Loved all of your comments, even the ones that didn't agree with me. Like I said, it's a football debate. Everyone has their say. Everyone's got an opinion. Not one person is right. And that's why we love football. And to answer that question earlier on, how do you keep going? I keep going by just interacting with you guys and talking United. It's as simple as that. Like, share and subscribe to Forever United TV. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I will be over on United View. Have a great evening, people. And I will see you bright and early in the morning on Forever United TV.